The conspiracy in the end is a mind game. It's about controlling the way we think, controlling the way we feel, and disconnecting us from those levels that would filter and see through the veils that are thrown before us, see through the movie that's projected at us every day.
What is happening? Something is going on. Can you feel the way?
Hi, welcome to Spiral Into It. I'm Fisk Smith. This is the first part of a two-part episode with author David Icke. When the subject of conspiracy theory comes up in any casual conversation, any mention of David Icke is sure to raise eyebrows. He is unquestionably the Muhammad Ali of this genre. The British monarchy, the origin of Christianity, esoteric knowledge, and shape-shifting reptiles. It's all here. What is impressive about Icke, whether you agree with him or not, is the exhaustive detail and research that went into this presentation at ConspiracyCon in the spring of 2001. Sit back and marvel, and remember, if you substitute the shape-shifting reptile metaphor with evil, it all tends to make pretty good sense. What is happening? Something is going on. Can you feel the way?
The common theme that unites all that I'm talking about is challenging dogma that is imposed on others and challenging those who wish to impose their will and their belief on other people. And it's amazing, when you do that, you unite the Jewish religion with the Christian religion, with the Muslim religion. You unite the communists with the fascists, because these are all names on the door for imposing somebody else's will on others. It tends to unite people like that. And the other point is, people get their knickers in a twist when you're talking about this or talking about that. Ooh, you can't talk about that, it's ridiculous, and all this stuff. As if I'm actually saying anyone's got to believe it. It's just information. You know, if people don't think it makes sense, well, have a beer, I ain't bothered. But we get so uptight about the free flow of information. All right, you don't agree with it. Well, don't agree with it, that's fine. But just support everyone's right to say it. It's just information. And I've got more questions than everyone else in this room put together about the stuff I'm talking about. The more I know, the more I know there is to know. So it's just information. I guess he looks a bit like me, but I swear, lady, I've never seen you before, you know. It's funny, isn't it? I like that one. And then there's the new Clinton Memorial that's just being put up in the mall. And then after Bill comes George W. Now, without going into conspiracy and bloodlines, surely people in America or anywhere else in the world, when they look at Clinton as president and they see who follows him, they might think something's not quite right here. George W. Bush. The question about education is our children learning? The Dan Quayle of the new millennium. Dan Quayle, who came back from South America rather, true story, and he said, I love Latin America. I only wish now I'd have studied Latin at school so I could converse with these people, you know. So by answering the question, how do those two guys, and then his dad before, and then Uncle Ron before, and so on, how do these characters get into the presidency? Answering that question unveils a vast web of manipulation, because these guys, oh look, it's gone again. These guys are just frontmen. And that's what we live in. A prison with the barbars. When people hear this phrase, a few people control the world, or the direction of the world, it can sound amazing at first hearing. Because there's 6 billion, who counts them? I've never worked, who counts them? I don't know. 6 billion people apparently in the world. How can a few manipulate that number? The sad thing is that not only is it possible, if you control the flow of what passes for information and are able to suppress other knowledge that would put this information in a different light, then not only is it possible, it's a piece of cake. And I do this before every talk because I find that, not so much with an audience like this, but people who are new to this, when they see how a few can control billions, so many pennies start dropping and so many other possibilities start opening in their minds. And there's no better example of the two states of being that control the human race than a herd of sheep. Because that's what we've become, two-legged sheep, sheeple. All over the world every day, millions and millions of sheep are put where a farmer and a sheepdog wants them. If those sheep thought for themselves, expressed their uniqueness, didn't concede their uniqueness and their freedom to those two states of being, barbar and fear, then those sheep would be uncontrollable. If you had to control a herd of sheep physically, you'd need 6 or 7 guys for every sheep, and then you wouldn't be guaranteed to catch them. About 2 or 3 years ago in England, we had 2 pigs went missing. They made a break for it at a slaughterhouse, right? It took what remains of the official British Empire the best part of a week to catch these 2 pigs. They're on the news. They're on the national news. Where are the pigs? And you see the reward for expressing your uniqueness. These pigs, far from ending up in the slaughterhouse, became national heroes, and now they're opening fates, these pigs. So you see, just with that example, if the pigs say, sod this for a lark, I'm out of here, the problem you have with that attitude. But what do the sheep do? I've seen this happen, we've all must have seen this happen. The two states of being are barbar and fear, and barbar is the key one for most of the sheep. The farmer arrives, I've seen them stand on this stick, and then 1 or 2 of the sheep start to move. And in no time, hundreds of sheep are following them. Without thinking, without questioning. Well, I did it yesterday, and I'll do it today, and I'll do it tomorrow, I suppose. Ba, 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 ba. And no one, questions to, excuse me, you at the front? Where are you going? And if we did, he'd probably go, I don't know, really. I don't, you just follow me every day. I don't know where I'm going, And that accounts for most of the sheep. And then you've got the few that keep munching and don't want to concede to that. And they are sorted out by stage 2, the 4-letter word that controls the world, ultimately, fear.